but I did not because I was just frustrated and I just felt like, what's the point? Hey guys, what's going on? It's Shay here of No Friend Left Behind, and I am the second to tell their story. I hope you guys enjoyed Lineda's video. She did an excellent job. Good job, Lineda. I want you to come along on this journey of my two shops, how my first shop was put on vacation mode, and my second shop and how it's going. And I want you to stay tuned to see how I plan on turning my Etsy shop into a six-figure shop within the next year. All right, so I'm going to tell you the story behind my very first shop and what happened with it. So I opened that shop back in January of 2021, and I only put the one listing that you're supposed to and didn't do anything else with it until about October of 2021. The reason why is just because I was working from home and I didn't have a laptop and I didn't want to use my work computer as my business computer as well. So it's frowned upon. So I didn't put any listings in my shop until October when I was able to get a laptop. So I started filling my shop up with fall things, with Christmas things, and I was starting to get a little traction. I was starting to be put in the Etsy algorithm. And I finally got my very first sale on November 15th of 2021. That was the most exciting cha-ching I have ever had. It was my very first sale. So yeah, I was excited about it. Now it ended up being a friend. A sale is a sale, so I was still excited about it. But the next sale that I had, which was about a week later, let me see. It was November 17th of 2021. That was an organic sale, and that just filled my heart with such excitement. I had my very first organic cha-ching, my very first organic sale in my shop. So, and that was about a couple days later. That was 2 days after my very first sale. So that was really exciting for me. So I'm like, okay, I'm just going to continue creating designs so that I can put more listings in my shop. My next sale was November 27th. That person ended up canceling what they wanted, but it was still a cha-ching at first. Like it was still exciting. Like I'm starting to get some rhythm in Etsy in their algorithm. So then my next sale is in December. And so I'm getting some traction here. I'm starting to get more in the Etsy algorithm. So that's exciting, right? So that makes me want to continue adding designs in my shop. So January comes around and I start putting more listings in my shop. I do Easter, I do St. Patrick's Day. I'm making sure that I'm hitting all the large holidays. With St. Patrick's Day, I was really loading up on my shop because I was having just so much fun creating designs. I received an order in February for a couple of shirts for St. Patrick's Day, and this was the killer of my shop. So what happened was this person ordered 2 shirts. The print-on-demand company that I used told me that the zip code for that person was incorrect and that and they suggested a zip code for me. So I thought to myself, well, since they'll be delivering it, that's the one that I need to follow. Well, it ended up not being the right one. If ever in doubt, just reach out to the customer, reach out to them and ask them what their zip code is and listen to what the customer has to say. And that's what I should have done. And that's where I messed up. So what ended up happening is the zip code that they said that I should send it to was 30 minutes from where this person was. So it was delivered 30 minutes from the person. They were upset, which I completely understand. So I ended up refunding her. I ended up giving her a coupon also for the sale, and she still was quite unhappy with what happened. And again, understandably, I understand. She gave me a review, but it was a 1-star review. Now, in my shop, I only had about 3 reviews. They were 5-star, but this 1-star trumped the other 5-star reviews that I had. I think I only had 2 other 5-star reviews. And that 1-star really trumped those 5-star reviews. And Etsy ended up putting my shop on vacation mode. I found out that it was on vacation mode while I was on vacation, actually. Danielle told me about it. she likes to keep an eye on our shops and see how many listings we've put up, and just to give us just a little bit more encouragement. And it was me, Shauna, and Danielle. And Danielle found out that my shop was on vacation mode. She was actually very upset with me because she thought that I put it on vacation mode, but I was just as shocked as she was. So for those of you who are new and don't know who Danielle is, she is on Simply Shauna's video. Make sure to go follow Simply Shauna. She's on Simply Shauna's video about the Keys vacation, and there's an introduction there. She's our sister-in-law. So you can go and check her out there in that video, which has really good points as well. But basically that's who Danielle is. She is really vested in all of us as well as we are vested in her. So that is why she was so upset when she found out that my shop was put on vacation mode. We did a little investigating. We found out that Etsy had put my shop on vacation mode. They put it on vacation mode February 25th. And that was the time my shop was closed, and it has never been reopened since. What I ended up doing is reaching out to Etsy multiple times. I emailed them, but I never heard back from them. I should have stayed on top of it, but I did not because I was just frustrated, and I just felt like, what's the point? But there was a point. I really could have just started a new shop and went on. But I was just so frustrated with what happened. From what I understand, the reason why my shop was put on vacation mode is because there are lots of other shops out there that run scams. And what they'll do is they'll allow for someone to order a product. When that order comes through, the person that owns that scam shop will put in a different address to where they live or something like that. And the product that this person ordered goes to that address, and that scam shop also gets the money and the product so that they can resell it again. So I think that's what Etsy thought my shop was. They thought that I was running a scam, and I fell into that unfortunate situation, and I think that's the reason why Etsy put it on vacation. I'll leave some information on that if you are interested in learning more about other scams within Etsy. So basically, after my shop was put on vacation mode, I reached out to Etsy a few times, but never heard back. I probably should have stayed on top of it, but I didn't because I was so frustrated and I just felt very defeated. So I decided I was going to try a different venture, and that other venture it was a lot more work and a lot more complicated than I expected. I may go back to that later on, but right now, it was just very, very difficult to start. While I was working on all of that, I still saw how much money Shauna was making on Etsy, and I was just like, this is incredible. I know that this works, that Etsy works. Just open up a new shop. When I opened up my new shop, it was one of those things, fake it till you make it, because I was still very defeated about the whole entire first shop that opened. One reason why I felt so defeated with the second shop is obviously I had to start all over again. I had to start from scratch with new listings. I had to actually get a new name too. So it was just such a pain in the butt. And another reason why I felt so defeated is because I felt like I wasn't getting the same sales that I was in my very first shop. With the amount of listings that I had. So the first shop, I didn't have that many listings, and I was getting sales. I got one week, another one the next week, and so on and so forth. And then with this new shop, yes, I opened it in October of 2022, and I got 3 sales in that first month. And then I also got another sale in November, but I had to put more listings in my shop in order to get anything sold. And then it took a very long time for me to get anything else. Now, granted, again, I was not being consistent, but I'm telling you, like, I felt very defeated having to go through everything that I went through with that first shop in this second shop. But I did. I opened up my first shop. I started putting listings in here. I put a listing in there. I was not being consistent at all whatsoever. Then I told myself, you're going to be more consistent. So I started being more consistent, and I started adding a lot more in, and I put a lot of listings in for July. And let me tell you, July was amazing for me. It did really well. And then I dropped the ball. I wasn't being consistent again. I kept telling myself, okay, I'm not defeated anymore. I'm fine. I'm okay with my new shop. My other shop, it's not going to bother me. when deep down it really did actually bother me. Sorry if you see this dog in the background. It is my mom's puppy. He is Benjamin. We're gonna let him do his thing. Okay, Benjamin, you gotta move. Thanks, bud. I kept telling myself, no, I'm not bothered by my other store at all whatsoever. I'm gonna continue moving forward with this new store. When deep down inside, I was still bothered about everything that was happening with the old store. I don't know why, I just couldn't let it go. So I was not being consistent. And the reason why July did so well is because I really stacked up on my listings in July. I really was adding a lot more things in July, for July, not in July. I was adding a lot of listings for July. So that's why I did so well with July. However, I dropped the ball. I was not being consistent. Being consistent is really what gets you going, what gets you seen in the algorithm. It really helps your sales. And it just helps your shop to be seen. So July came around, I did really well. Then I dropped the ball and I wasn't adding a lot. Like I'd add here, I'd add there, but that doesn't do anything for you. It's not worth it because if you consistently add into your shop will continue to rise. If you add in your shop and then you drop the ball, it's just going to go up and down, and it's just going to be hard every time to get that algorithm back up so that you can start selling in your shop again. So December I did nothing, and I could tell that I did nothing. January of this year is when I really said, that's it. No excuses. You are going to make something in your shop this year. And I plan on it, and I've actually been making some pretty good sales. I've been in my shop every single day since January 1st of this year, and I am very proud of myself and very excited about where it is going. Thank you so much for staying this long and listening to my story. I hope it has inspired you some. And if you want to hear more about our individual shops, be sure to subscribe. Make sure to subscribe below because we will stay on top of this. We're going to continue to show you our progress, and it'll be exciting to see where we go. Now, what I plan on doing to get a 6-figure shop within the next year, I plan on staying consistent. I'm telling you, being consistent in your shop is so huge. It is huge because you don't want to work harder. You want to work smarter, and staying consistent, you work smarter and you get seen better in the algorithm and you get more sales that way. Plain and simple. I also plan on doubling down, which is something Shauna always talks about, doubling down. I'm not good at that yet, but I plan on doubling down on a lot of my listings. I plan on doing a lot more research on creating designs. Let me tell you guys, I have ADD. Okay, I have ADHD, and yes, I actually did have a doctor tell me that I have ADHD. What I do with my designs, I love the design process, so I'll have multiple ideas of what I want to do. I'll do some research, I'll have multiple ideas of what I want to do, and I'll get them out of my head. I'll put the designs, I'll start it anyways in Canva. I usually use Canva or Kittl or whatever I'm using at that time. Or I'll find other things on Creative Fabrica and I will start to create the design, and throughout the week I will perfect it and I'll make it what I want that design to be, and then I'll put my listings up. But I am all over the place and it is so hard for me to stay focused. So I have to force myself at times to stay focused. If you want to find out the ways that I stay focused, stay tuned for my next video and I will give you some tips on that. So basically, I'll create more designs for my shop. I will double down on my shop, and I'm going to stay consistent in my shop this year. And that is how I plan on making 6 figures this year. And stay with us. And again, you'll be able to follow along and see how far along we go. Thanks, guys, and talk to you next time.